Revelation 1. This is part 2 of my little project. So, this greeting to 7 churches, I'm going to come back to it at the end. So, the first church really is Ephesus. Ephesus was admonished for forgotten their first love. They have forgotten their first love. It's not because the church will tell you that his first love is to work for God on earth. But really, God doesn't care about that, honestly. The first love is the Father, the Almighty God. We've forgotten Him. We don't even follow His law. But the laws of men, we don't even know Him. We say we do, but we don't. And if we truly know Him, then we won't want to do things that He asks, that we won't want to do things that He asks us not to, command us not to do, honestly. So, Smyrna, no admonishment, only that they are poor, and but they are rich, and He knows the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews but are not, but are the synagogue of Satan, that the devil will cast some of them in prison for 10 days, tribulation and or death. But be faithful unto the death, and He shall give us the crown of life. The blasphemy of Zionists who say they are Jews but they're not. The blasphemy and idolatry, worshiping false gods. So I can only see one place on this earth, in Jerusalem. The Rothschild got to lose Jerusalem, Israel, in the Balfour Agreement in 1917. That was the command that went forth. November 8, 1917. Signed by England Prime Minister. So, okay, Pergamos. Holding the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block. Basically cheating on God with other gods. And I'll come back to that as well. Because I know exactly what that is. Thyatira. So Thyatira, suffering the woman Jezebel. I'll come back to that. Jezebel is not a real woman. Who call herself prophetess, and some church would say, "Oh, you're not supposed to let women preach." No, that's not it. Okay. In Philadelphia, we know that. We know there's no admonishment. And Laodiceus or whatever, the last one, Laodicea. I wouldn't want to be that church. I don't want to make God gag. I just can't. I, I, I would cry. I would rather have Him angry with me than be disgusted with me. So, but anyway, let's talk about Smyrna. Actually, I want to talk about Thyatira. Thyatira, you guys, is when they talk about Jezebel, it's actually basically worshiping dead men. Making saints out of nobody, out of human. God said no idolatry, so I just don't. That's the Catholic Church, for sure. Okay, see, God is my first love, and ignore the hand sign under there. I just realized that. That's like half a pyramid, and anyway, too late to change now. So God is my first love, and I pray to the Father like that every day. That He is my first love, and and thank you for letting me come back. So that's the Zionist. That's totally a synagogue of Satan. Okay, they're not. They're Jew. They say they're Jew, but they're not. With that Star of David and everything else, that's just ridiculous. So these are the guys that want to be in charge. Anyway, see the sun and the moon god. If you the Sabbath day, the fourth commandment tell us to observe the holy days, which is the Sabbath day, which is what the Saturday. When the church moved the worship day to Sunday, is worship they were worshiping the sun god. Okay, They're not worshiping our God. They're not worshiping the living God and the Eucharist and all that stuff. It's just ridiculous. And the Muslim, their holidays on Friday. That's the moon god. They're worshiping the moon god, and that's moon god is Allah. So Allah is moon god. Now that's to me that's Jezebel. All right, Ishtar, Semiramis. So when we do the celebrate Easter, we actually celebrating pagan festival for him, for her, and for December 25th, that's for her son Tammuz or Nimrod or whoever you want to call them. They're the same people, just different names. These are the Nephilim, the fallen angels' children in bloodline, and the Canaanites. Because God said don't marry Canaanites, and I think that's where it came from. So, well, the dead church. Oh, that guy. The dead churches just basically think they're alive, but they're dead. They are spiritually barren. They are barren. They naked and they just have no idea. Wretched, miserable. That's self-explanatory. Poor is spiritually wanting and hungry and thirsty. Blind, spiritual blindness. Naked, spiritually unclothed and unholy. So this open door church, um, that's the Church of Philadelphia, right? And that's not Jesus. I'm trying to find a picture without this long hair, effeminate Jesus. Jesus, like I said, Yeshua is a Jew, was a Jew. Um, and the custom is that men shall not have long hair. It is an abomination to the Lord. So, only women have long hair as far as that goes. So this is going to be the false Messiah. People are going to believe the second coming, the false one, that's their Messiah. I mean, the Jews still waiting, the Islam, the Muslim, they're still waiting. So for their Mahdi, and the Christian, quote unquote, and I think that's him too, and that's not him. So the lukewarm church. Ugh. Yeah, I don't want to be this church. Just give me anything but this church. I can't. I don't want to be disgusted. I don't want him to be disgusted with me. I don't want to make God gag. I'm sorry, I just don't. And so I'm not going to be lukewarm. I'm going to make sure that I am, you know, follow his law, follow his covenant. I don't care what people make fun of me and all that stuff. I get that all the time now, from my life before and my life now, how I'm trying to live. Because I want to show my love to the Father. I'm done with not knowing my Father in heaven. So I don't want to be that person. Well, the seven spirit of God. I want to cover that next, of course. Um, I think that's just the most wonderful thing. That's the seven spirit of God. The number seven, the spirit of the fear of the Lord. The Lord, Yeshua said, don't beware of scribes. Okay, the scribes also teacher. And when you translate that fear as a spirit of God, even as fear for the Lord, of the Lord, um, that's not his spirit. So when it contradicts the Bible that way, I wouldn't. I'm thinking reverence. In awe, in love of his power and his mightiness and his long suffering and how much he loves us. I mean, he loves us so much. And in the name of Yeshua, I swear, I'm not swearing by his name. I'm sorry. I'm, so the seven stars and angels, seven churches, and seven candlesticks, which you saw are the seven churches. So later on in the book of Revelation, it's only two that were gonna be inside the temple, and the rest of them gonna be outside as you know Gentiles. So that's basically the Philadelphia and Smyrna. There's the two candlesticks, and there's two witnesses. So all this, they're all the same. I mean, the prophetic language is the same um, when you have the same number. So there's Pergamum, Thyatira, Sardis, Smyrna, Philadelphia, Ephesus, and Laodicea. So, but this will be it for me on this one. I'm stumbling over this, but I'll get better. All right, you guys. God bless. Bye bye.